Hello. Who is this?
Your new boyfriend. Nice pants you're wearing.
What? How do you know that?
It's one of those prank calls.
Oh my god, okay.
By the way, I also like the blue shirt you're wearing right now.
Stop that!
Locking the door won't help. Go ahead, turn around.
Higgsfield has just released a new feature and the short film you just watched was creating using it. It's called Cinema Studio. The big difference compared to previous AI video tools is that you can define professional cinema characteristics up front before the actual video generation starts. For example, you can choose between different professional cameras like a Red Raptor or an Arri Alexa to define the final look of the image. You can also select a professional lens like a wide angle, a zoom or a macro lens. What's interesting is that you don't choose these cameras during the video generation itself, but already during the image generation step. Before I started, I first used Nano Banana Pro to generate an image of a woman who would act as the main character of the short film. Then I reused the same image during the image generation process for all scenes, so the overall look of the character stayed consistent throughout the film. For my prompts, I gave ChatGPT a few bullet points and based on that I received a finished prompt which I then used to generate my first image. Before doing all this, I planned a basic story structure for my short film. I knew that the film should be around 45 to 60 seconds long. This already gave me a really good feeling for how the final film would look. I saved all these images and arranged them in the correct order. After that I started generating the video clips using these images. When it comes to camera settings, there is nothing you need to adjust at this stage anymore. All of that is already defined in the images themselves. This means the clearer your vision of the film is beforehand, the better the final result will be. You really have to start thinking like a director from the very beginning. You can either set only a start frame or both, a start and an end frame, which creates a clean transition from one image to the next within a single video clip. This method is often better, especially when you want to move through a location with a camera pan or maintain visual consistency. Right now there is still one limitation. This only works when generating clips without audio. For scenes where you hear dialogue, for example the woman or the man speaking on the phone, I could only use a start frame and not an end frame. That sometimes requires a bit of experimenting or small editing tricks in the post-production. I hope this will be supported in the future, start and end frames with audio. Audio itself is also still a bit of a weak point. The voices are not always consistent, sometimes they sound like the same person and sometimes like completely different voices. There is definitely room for improvement here. Overall, I slowly assembled the entire film piece by piece. You really have to re-render some clips multiple times if you want a result you are truly happy with. Getting great looking images is relatively easy, but making sure the videos stay consistent and actually make sense visually is highly dependent on how good your prompts are. For video prompts I also use ChatGPT and overall it worked really well. There are still small issues like moments where the woman's lips move even though you are hearing the man's voice when she actually shouldn't be speaking.
Relax, I'm just kidding. It's one of those prank calls. I thought I'd mess with someone a little.
But I'm confident that this will keep improving. Overall, I was generally impressed by how good the clips turned out. Some scenes are very close to a real cinematic look, and in a few scenes I honestly couldn't tell the difference anymore. The wide cinematic look is reproduced extremely well and the emotional expression of the main character also turned out surprisingly strong. Another really cool feature is that when you generate clips with audio, the system also adds sound effects automatically. You can even be very specific in the prompt about which sound effect you want. For the clips where I used start and end frames without audio, I added sound effects later in post-production. But in general, I did very little post-production work overall. I didn't do any color grading at all. The colors you saw came straight out of the program, which is honestly pretty impressive. In total, I used around 300 credits for the 45 seconds film, which depending on your plan is roughly $5 to $20. That's definitely not cheap, but when you compare it to the cost of producing a traditional film, it's obviously nothing, especially considering how much better this technology will become over time. In my opinion, voices are still the biggest weakness, both in terms of how they sound and how consistent they are. They still feel a bit too artificial. When it comes to visuals though, we are already shockingly far. I don't think it will take long until we see the first really good 10-minute short films where you can barely tell the difference anymore. I will be experimenting a lot more with AI filmmaking on this channel and keep you updated on everything I learn. So make sure you subscribe if you don't want to miss that. And feel free to leave a comment and let me know what you think about the results so far. Thanks for watching, have a great day, peace.